Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Sky Dweller. You can see this 42mm annual calendar dual-time Rolex on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of this video at any time to see our complete listing for this watch, with additional photographs, accessories included, and of course, complete pricing information. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this 2014 Baselworld novelty has incredible presence for a Rolex. It wears far larger than, for instance, the 42mm case of the Rolex Explorer 2, although they come from the same company and they're both rated 42. You have to say that the Sky Dweller, with the additional span of its lugs and the thickness of its case and the mass of that precious metal bezel, really comes across as the larger watch, both in terms of the feel on the wrist and the visual impression. Now you can see 42mm across the round of the case. It's a big 42. Like the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore 42, expected to wear just a bit larger. It is relatively compact from top to bottom, but the case is deep, as it's 14.5mm from the back of the case to the tip of the sapphire. Now from lug to lug, it also has modern proportions. This watch has a span of 50.5mm from lug to lug, but there is a little bit of curvature built into the case, and you can see that in the arc of the lugs, which turn down sharply and immediately after they exit the flank of the case. So this watch can be worn on a smaller wrist. Consider perhaps 14 centimeters in circumference to be the lower limit for this watch. Now, it is beautifully integrated in as much as the case itself features an elegant and almost seamless segue into the heavily bolstered brown alligator leather strap. You can also see it's monotone stitched. Because of the shape of the flank of the case and the underslung nature of the lugs, you can see that there's hardly any daylight showing between the end of the strap and the flank of the case. Very beautifully integrated. Now it's matched with a milled out 18-karat Rolex rose gold clasp. Both the case and the clasp are Rolex's high platinum Ever Rose gold alloy, so exceptionally resistant to tarnishing, staining, and the fading to yellow gold that can occur with other rose gold alloys. It's made entirely in-house by Rolex, as is the watch itself. Now, debuting in 2012, the Sky Dweller became the most complex Rolex of the modern era, and indeed of all time. It features both a dual time display and an annual calendar. Now, just in terms of what you're looking at, here's how it breaks down. There's a conventional Cyclops eye date at 3 o'clock. There is an orbital system known as Saros, which works with a set of planetary gears underneath the dial, whereby each of the 12 stations of the hour represent one of the 12 months of the year. So you can see right next to the 4, January, February, March, April. So this watch is a little bit behind the time. I would have to set it forward to May, which would correspond to the 5th hour on the dial and the 5th month of the year. Now, this is done using the ring command bezel. So the bezel itself is actually a mobile element that's a functional part of the caliber 9001 automatic movement. So the first thing I want to do is, let's say I want to adjust the date. So I turn the ring command 1 notch over. Now I can adjust the date forward and backwards, and if I choose to adjust it far enough forward, you can see the red highlight next to the station of the watchmaker's 4. As I move forward, you'll see the jump. Now, indicated adjacent to the 5, you can see the little red Saros window marker, which continues to jump instantaneously through all 12 months of the year. Now, let's say I want to make fine adjustments to the local time. Now you can see by adjusting the ring command to the 2nd station with the same crown in the same position, I can alter the local time. I can drive it forward or backward, and the local time is keyed to the date itself, so those two indications are always synced up. Now, what you're looking at is actually the 2nd time zone at center, 2200, so that's actually 10 p.m., but I've got the hand, since it's not about to turn the date, I've got the hand of the local time indicating 10 a.m. So they're exactly opposite within the phase of the time of day, but they're indicated with the AM-PM distinction being borne by the 2nd or reference time zone at center. Now, if you want to move everything in sync, you turn the bezel to its 3rd station, and now everything moves in coordinated fashion. You simply move the bezel back to its starting point, and now you can wind the watch. I will mention that if you want to hack the balance, you have to turn 1, 2, 3 to the third station with the bezel and then pull the crown. In the first two positions, it will not hack the balance. It will not stop the seconds hand. Now, the watch itself has a handsome champagne-colored sunburst dial. Rolex actually calls this treatment sundust, and it debuted in 2014 on this model. It's a wonderfully warm alternative to pure, almost sterile metallic silver, and it beautifully complements the rose gold Everrose case and this beautiful chocolate-covered alligator leather strap. This is the most complex movement Rolex has ever made. With 40 jewels and almost 400 components, it's a dual time, it has a date, it's an annual calendar, so it only needs to be adjusted once per year during the jump from February to March. It still has 100-meter water resistance, so if you were ever to put it on a textile or rubber strap of any kind, you would be able to get this one wet. Again, it does have that Oyster heritage baked in. Now, the movement is exceptionally complex, but includes all of Rolex's standard, including COSC Swiss chronometer certification, a 72-hour, 3-day power reserve, a full balance bridge with a free-sprung balance and a Breguet overcoil hairspring made of the Parachrom blue alloy, anti-magnetic, constructed in-house by Rolex, and it does feature Rolex's own in-house Paraflex shock-absorbing system, all of that mounted underneath this solid rose gold caseback. You can see this Rolex Oyster Perpetual Sky Dweller dual-time annual calendar and purchase it on our website, watchyouwant.com.